Hello and welcome back to Priceline Stadium in Adelaide for the 2018 Trans-Tasman Cup. I'm Michael Hutchinson for AMNA TV. We've got two superb games lined up for you tonight, the 23 and under division, and at 8:30 the Open Men's. Mandy Love, the lovely Mandy Love, joins me again tonight. Are you looking forward to this this evening as much as last night?
I'm so excited about it. Like, if last night was just the first sort of taste of it, I cannot wait to see what both 23s and the Open Men's bring tonight.
It was a pretty great opening last night here in Adelaide. The 20s taking the match 47-44 over Australia in a come-from-behind victory with a massive final term. And in the mixed division, 58-45 to Australia. Again, the Kiwis had a massive final term, so I'm sure they'll be building on that for Game 2. But we spoke with both teams just moments ago. Dan Napara from New Zealand, the 23 and unders assistant coach, and Matt Blomley, the head coach for Australia.
Dan, so you guys had a light run through this morning. How'd you guys pull up?
Yeah, I thought the boys trained really well today. The intensity's there, so we're looking to bring that out to the game today.
What are your expectations for the first test?
Oh, look, obviously there's going to be a lot of nerves. For the boys, there's over half the boys who are going to debut tonight. So for them, it's about enjoying the experience and being in the moment, but also knowing that we're here for a business. So they're very well versed about the Australian style, and we're prepared for it.
All the best.
Thank you.
And Matt, you guys arrived on Saturday. Has that been enough time for you guys to acclimatise and to go through your processes?
Yeah, absolutely. Gave them a chance to have that travel day and then get a few solid training sessions and some practice matching. So I think they're well and truly ready to take the court.
You're starting 7 tonight. How have you selected them?
Partly on form, partly on gut feeling. There's no right or wrong when it comes to the first test. I don't think when everyone's performing so well at the moment. Give them an opportunity and hopefully they can do what I need them.
Good luck.
Thank you.
So some interesting words from both camps there. We stuck into the New Zealand training camp today, didn't we, Mandy?
We did.
Had a little bit of a walk around. Any bits of insight that you can sort of disclose from the Kiwi camp, the 23s camp?
Yeah, they're really excited. I mean, they've been here since Saturday, so they've been here for a couple of days. And after last night's excitement, they're just like raring to get out on court tonight. I believe that they're going to play a different style than the traditional New Zealand style. Because they've got several number of players who also reside in the East Coast and also one from WA. So we're going to get that hybrid version between that New Zealand SAG style, zone style defense and that tight Australian traditional one-on-one defense. So I'm excited to see what that looks like out on court and to see what Australia does to combat that.
Yeah, Australia had a light run through this morning, so they should be feeling fresh and ready to go. We do have the team lists ready to go, and we'll start with New Zealand.
Yeah, so this evening, goal shooter is Cameron Bishop, goal attack, Emmanuel Woodley, the captain in wing attack, William Tetomo, centre, Callum Evans, wing defence, Jonah Tan, goal defence, Marcus Puroku, goal defence, Ephraim Ormsby, with Anthony Jellicoe, Tyson Lalanga, Draven Lee Todoa, and Miguel Afuni on the reserves. And their coach is Koro Pene, with assistant coach Dennis Napara, and their manager is Waimaria Anderson Springer, with their physiotherapist Di Griffith. And for the Australian side, we have in goal shooter Stephen Bryce, goal attack Braden Pastore, wing attack Liam Forcadia, centre Jason Hurd, wing defence Jake Noonan, goal defence Cameron Martin, goalkeeper Luke Spotes, and their reserves tonight are Jaden Cowling, Jake Edwards, Luke Marco Rawlings and Nathan Selvage. Their captain is Cameron Martin and their coach is Matthew Blomley, assisted by Jenny Lewis, their manager Brooke Berry and physiotherapist Bridie Flagg.
A little bit of late news out of the Australian camp. Luca Marco Rawlings will be rested tonight, is the line that they are peddling. We tried to get a little bit more information from the camp just a couple of minutes ago, but the word is that he will be rested, but should be right for the last two games of this series. Draven Lee Torua is also out injured with an ankle injury, which is incredibly unfortunate for him.
It really is. He's a product from WA, so know Draven quite well. He's very disappointed. Rolled his ankle during a scratch match against the Opens the other day in the first couple of minutes, and knew that he rolled it. So he has been resting and putting that ankle up, elevating that, and doing the proper recovery. So he is planning on trying to get back on court for Friday as well.
And Miguel Afuni will arrive tomorrow to the camp for the 23, so he will also not be here tonight. But interestingly, with that scratch match against the Opens, actually won 2 quarters against the Open men's team. I don't know what that says about the Open men's team, and I'm not sure what that says about the 23s, but surely they would get some confidence out of that performance.
Well, I think also too, because they were playing that tight man-on-man marking, assistant coach Dan told me that that's been a real big focus area for this team tonight. It really helped prepare the Open men's for potentially what is to come later on this evening.
So some fairly experienced names in both camps. With New Zealand, though, they have a couple of players who played in the Australian Championships this year. Jellicoe for Victoria, Evans and Lalaga for New South Wales, Torua for WA, as you just mentioned, and Afuni for Queensland. So, and Puruku also for New South Wales. So they're not coming into this series blind. They're probably going to have a little bit of intel on the Aussies as well, which is going to be helpful.
Exactly. And talking within the New Zealand camp, the only player who's actually had a test cap is their captain, William Tetomo. So everyone else out on court this evening is a debutant effectively for New Zealand. So whilst they've had experience at the AMNA champs, I don't think anything quite prepares you for your first test cap.
Not only do you mention that, but the fact that 7 of their players are actually under the age of 20. So this is a very young 23 side, and they'll be eligible again to play for the 23s in further Trans-Tasman International Series in that age group. So I guess this is a bit of a building block for New Zealand men's at the moment, and we're certainly looking forward to see how they can perform across this series.
And then speaking to Matt Blomley from the Australian side too, in their starting 7, they've actually got 3 debutants. So Jason Hurd in the centre from WA, he's having his first test debut. He came up and had a bit of a chat, was a little bit nervous but excited to represent his nation for the first time. Noonan in wing defence and in goalkeeper in Sproat. So it'll be interesting to see how they all go and which team sort of settles first.
So the 2 teams are now being announced onto court. The umpires for tonight are Lisa Harm from Australia and Tina Frew from New Zealand. The reserves, Renee Marshall from Australia and Raywin Vile from New Zealand. So 2 teams going to be announced out on court before the before the national anthems for both sides. Stay with us also later on tonight at 8:30 is the Open men's clash. Dan Ryan, former Adelaide Thunderbirds coach and former Australian Sonics star, will be in the commentary box for that one, and we cannot wait for that.
And you will probably notice that the stream we will be muted while the national anthems are on. That is also just so that we don't get booted off the Facebook live feed. So otherwise we will get cut for the next 24 hours. So if you're wondering why it's mute, that is why. Yeah. And also just to let you guys know at home that we don't get access to the substitution slips during the breaks or any injury time. So we are sort of trying to reference the players coming onto the court via their playing T-shirts. So it may take us a little while, but we do get there.
Oh, look, we aced it last night. I'm confident. That's fine.
Killed it.
Let it roll. We'll now head courtside for the anthems. There were some nerves out there.
Oh my
Couple
God.
little pats on the back there after those anthems.
Like, I don't know about you, but like that was really emotional. Like, did you see that? Like people holding back tears
Yeah.
and just a sense of pride having
Sure
that first
is.
anthem.
You don't often get to represent your country through men's and
No.
mixed netball, so this does mean a lot to these players.
What a special moment for these athletes. And, you know, and special mention needs to go to all the families and the support crews, coaches, clubs, state sides that these athletes have come from, the fundraising that you have done to get them here. We know that being involved in men's and mixed netball at this elite level, it is all self-funded.
Yet
so
still amateur.
Still amateur. So we'd just like to say a very big thank you to everyone at home for your contribution. And let's get ready for this great test match about to happen from the 23s.
And thanks for watching the live stream. We had some massive numbers last night, some 28,000 views across the two matches. A brilliant result for the sport. It's much appreciated. Let us know where you're watching from around the world.
As we prepare for the first centre pass, I believe it looks like it's the Australians to kick us off.
Just waiting for the umpires. They're a patient lot.
And they're waiting for that 2 minutes.
Here we go, Australia to start with the ball through Jason Hurd. Pistori. Fokadia just straight through Puroku on that occasion. And again, he's slipped down.
Feed into Bryce. Oh, missed shot, first attempt. Bryce is the younger brother of former GWS Giant shooter Christina Bryce, who is now relocated to the Northern Mystics for next year's ANZ Premiership League. So it looks like netball runs in the family. And Totomo with the centre pass receipt. Oh, and great tip there from Noonan.
So Puroku to take the penalty pass to Tomo.
Offloads it to Woodley. Bishop looks to line up the shot.
Good rebound, strong rebound from Martin.
Just a bit hesitant on that shot.
Martin, Marco Rawlings, who's not playing tonight, Nathan Selvage and Jaden Calling, who are both on the bench, all part of the successful Victorian 23 and underside, who took out the division at the Australian Champs in Sydney this year. Matt Blomley was also the coach.
And Puroku just called out for the obstruction and then followed by the contact, giving Pistori a second shot, which he scores.
So Aussies with the early break and the centre pass to follow.
And Pistori with the centre pass receipt.
Fokadelli, geez, he got high then.
Yeah, he did. He's got a good bit of elevation, doesn't he? Yeah, goalkeeper for New Zealand doing a fantastic job just keeping Bryce out of play.
Ormsby knew Bryce wasn't going to take the shot.
Correct. So that's 3 in a row from Australia. New Zealand really need to capitalise on this centre pass just to keep within the reach. I know it's only early days. Oh, bit of a shoulder charge there
Contact
by
from
Evans
Evans.
as he stands out of play. Oh, and great pickup. Don't know where that pass was going
Yeah,
to.
a little misdirected. The other thing to notice is Pistori, also Fokadia, Noonan, all play in the Opens division. Same with Jason Hurd.
Right, okay, so there's a bit of experience here.
Bit of experience, and certainly have played with players significantly more experienced and older than themselves during the Australian Championships.
As Noonan called out a play while Totomo feeds. Outside arm by Martin, but gets called out of play outside the circle, so it'll be a 2-on-1 situation. And they're just setting it up around in front of the post.
Just setting the penalty. Bishop makes good with his second attempt. So 3 minutes gone in the first quarter. Australia lead 3-1. Bit too much on it from Pistori, but it's mopped up by the Aussies. Noonan. That's a lovely ball from Fokadia. No goal, stepping on Stephen Bryce. And the Kiwis looking to move it quickly into attack.
And they're just feeling each other out at the moment, aren't they, the first couple of minutes? So everyone's working that really
Cam
strong
Martin.
man-on-man defense.
That was a brilliant read of the pass.
You can see Bryce already setting up nice and high on that circle, looking for that hold. Fokadia from the outside. And that kind of pass is going to come to him all day.
So it's Stephen Bryce's first goal. New Zealand with the centre pass. Break on Woodley then.
Yeah, that's a coach killer, especially when you're sort of down in the points as well, like, and it's your centre pass.
Yeah.
Oh, for the fly!
Ormsby.
Oh!
Pistori wanted a piece to get it back.
Oh, Tan just couldn't control that pass, but great pressure by Forkadilla. Australia sideline throw in. Oh, footwork call.
Foot on the line, it must have been.
Yeah, that happened to us last night in the 20s game, I believe. And they're just simple basics that, as international athletes, they just need to nail. Like, that's a simple, basic move.
Good tip from Fogadia outside on the transverse line. And Noonan
Plays it
mopped up
back
again.
To Tomo offside, free pass. Jason Hurd will take that. Connects with Fokadia.
Yeah, Fokadia. That's what we saw from the Aussies in the first night last night, quickly taking the penalty.
Bryce converts.
So a 5-1 start to the Aussies and the centre pass to follow. 5 minutes gone in the first quarter. Martin Fokadia.
Oh, great play.
Set play from the Aussies.
All down that middle channel at a very direct route into what will be their massive target in Bryce at the back.
That was their most confident play of the quarter so far.
And Martin called out. Oh, quick play by Totomo. They've got they're very quick, the circle defenders, aren't they? And they've got the reach in the arms. Contact call on Sproats, on debut. And goal.
A goal for Woodley, his first of the game.
And I think, too, for like any of the shooters, they just need to sink their first one just to get confident. Oh, nice little cuddle from Totomo and Fogadilla. Yeah, just leaning back from Tan. You know, like looking out on court, that like they match up pretty well in terms of size and height amongst most of the players. Like there's nothing that sort of stands out at the moment. I mean, obviously Bryce is a big target, but also Ormsby is just only like a couple centimeters shorter, so definitely almost matching in height. Plays it back. Taken by Evans. Plays off the circle edge by Totomo.
Totomo's stuck. He was looking around. No one was coming forward for him. And he didn't want to throw long either.
No, and there was just a sea of green and gold around him as well. So they did a great job defensively.
Jason Hurd was a little nervous before the start of the game. He's playing with a whole bunch of confidence, though.
Oh, look, for a lot of these guys, they just need to get out on court. You know, Jason Hurd been around the sort of open men's environment for the last couple of years, so he knows what he's expected. Oh, middle channel connection with Fokadia.
That was a beautiful drive from Fokadia.
You've been Fokadia. That pass was beautiful.
And a great drive wide, too, from Pistori to open it up to have that clean access to the top of the circle.
I need to see more of that. Timeout called early by Tan. New Zealand, looks like there's a couple of switches going on. Looks like I think Tan is coming off.
Evans moving to
wing defense.
Wing defense. And coming on to centre. Who's going to spot it first?
I've got
Jellicoe.
And, you know, with a 9-2 sort of split, you need to change something. You know, we're already halfway through this, so they want to try and get on top of this early.
Yeah, I just think Australia's set plays down the attack, and even on that throw in there, it's just catching
them off guard.
Yeah, just a little bit. Pistori 5 straight, Bryce 5 from 6 halfway through the first quarter. Kiwis just 2 from 3, a goal each to Bishop and Woodley. Evans,
he's got great change of direction
yeah, he
for
does.
Kadir. And, you know, he never offers just the one lead. It's repeated efforts. But as I say that, Poroku with a pickup. And
Woodley now.
Just got to get over the mess, which they have. So now it's about...
and Bishop out of the circle.
And New Zealand feed from the corner. Now, New Zealand don't have a traditional tall either. Like, so what that gives them, though, is access to get a moving circle. So it's nice to see them get the ball in hand. We just need to convert that. Totomo regathers. Passes it off. That half a step back by the umpire.
Where the penalty occurred.
And good call. Nice work done by Woodley just to creep him in a little bit closer. And he shoots and he scores.
So against the Aussie centre pass, the Kiwis score.
Offside.
Break again from Totomo. He's just a little eager.
And as the captain too, he needs to show a bit of composure. But I'm liking this contest though. Every ball contested. It's very different. And unlucky Ormsby getting a touch. And loose pass. I think that's Fokadia's first loose pass that I've seen this evening.
Yeah, a bit too much on it. Probably
Poroku getting caught right on the sidelines. They need to get off. Woo, as we get hit with the ball. Oh.
Possession to Mandy Love.
Yes.
Mark that down in your stat sheet.
There's so much elevation and height.
He's looking to set something up. Probably just need to settle their second phase. Doesn't matter if you've got to play it around a little bit longer.
Just getting them into what we call the sweet spot for a shooter, just so that they're comfortable when they turn to post. Their rhythm is in time. Obstruction and shot.
Yeah, shot from Bishop.
So got Bishop at 3 goals.
Yeah, 3 from 4, and the last 2 to the Kiwis, but that was a good ball into Bryce. Away from the body of Ormsby. Under 5 to go in the first quarter, 11-4 to Australia.
Well, they've gone goal for goal through that middle 5. So, you know, I think now that they've settled, New Zealand just needs to start working their way defensively to just etch this lead back. Went hunting, Martin.
Pistori now, Noonan.
Down the line to Hurd.
Long drive. Good drive from Hurd.
Unfortunate, though, for Evans. I thought he was relatively clean on that contest. Forcadia, excuse me.
Ormsby was up. That was great timing on the jump.
And you want them to keep Bryce where he was. Like, when he gets marginally outside his comfort zone, they need to keep him
out there, yep.
And force him high.
Ormsby, Evans to Tomo.
Yeah, through the middle. Outlet pass to Bishop. Oh, just couldn't control it.
I think Jake Noonan ran off thinking that was an Australian throw-in.
Do you know what? It's a really smart move by him because it forces the umpire to make a decision and recall it back. As Woodley goes out of the circle. Oh, another footwork
on the line.
Yeah, that's...
Tina Frush has been hot on that tonight.
Yeah, well, that's twice now. Contact call on Bishop.
Looking for the Aussies to reset. And the Kiwis are playing a one-on-one.
It's great to watch because no pass is easily provided, and it means that they just have to drive that little bit longer, which gives an opportunity for the defence to come into play. Just Poroku moving out of play when the shot wasn't taken. Bryce getting up though.
So that was against New Zealand's centre. Chance for the Aussies to convert the turnover.
Going wide again. There's Forcadia.
Beautiful drive along the base from Pistori. He lost Poroku.
He really did. And there's just that speed to burn, and they just have it. They know the timing between Pastori and Forcadilla. It's great to watch. Did you say that they played together,
Which two?
Pastori and Forcadilla?
No,
Okay.
it's two different states.
Oh, loose pass.
Play on.
Yeah.
I don't think Hurd had control of that. I don't know. Some were looking for a replay, but
Likes to move him out the way too.
Yeah.
Nice distance by Puroku. Oh, nice job, and job well done by the defenders. As I'm not gonna lie, as a former defender, that call makes me extremely happy, because goal shooters always bring the ball up into the hands and they never get called for contact. So, job well done, New Zealand defence. Oh, great drive.
That was great job for all defenders.
All defenders. Oh,
Contact on
Hurd.
Hurd. The Aussies thought they were having it their way.
they're just not getting like any depth though. Like they're still marginally high, the New Zealand shooters. So they just need to find
Jump
a shooter
from
to shooter
Sproats.
connection.
And a drag from Bishop. So the Aussies come up with it. 90 seconds to go in the first quarter. Puroku mops up a long ball to Hurd.
And I feel like the New Zealand shooters, they're not working together. Like it's very individual at the moment. So I'd like to see them try and set each other up a little bit more, because they're getting access to the ball, but they're not connecting with one another. Forcadilla goes wide. Nice
Good jump
defense
from
from Totomo. Less than a minute to go, so we're hoping to see if they can... Oh, there we go. There's that long ball. Oh, unlucky by Ormsby. Had front position. Bryce just so strong in the air. New Zealand need to try and capitalise on this centre pass.
Yeah, not long to go in the quarter. The Aussies are trying to stop the Kiwis from scoring.
Bishop out, driving along the baseline. Woodley gets the penalty from Martin. Got to go around the other side. You want him to go to post at this point in time. And Sproats called out for the contact. And score for New Zealand right on the buzzer.
Just on the buzzer. So Australia take a handy lead in the 23 and under division at quarter time. They lead 14-6 over New Zealand. He's 14-6 at quarter time. Just some shooting stats to go through. Stephen Bryce 8 from 9 at 88%. Pastori yet to miss 6 straight. Bishop 5 from 6 at 83%, and Woodley 1 from 2. Aussies got out to a 10-2 start, Mandy, and then it was 4 all from then on. Do you think that had anything to do with the change of Jellicoe coming on to centre and Evans moving to wing defence?
Yes, yes and no. I think also, I think for me personally, it looked like after the first 5 minutes, they kind of settled into their job at hand. They just got a bit, I don't want to use the word starstruck, but just a bit in awe at just the intensity of the first test match. But when New Zealand started getting the ball, like they're winning ball in defence. And when they're converting, they aren't then converting their next centre pass, which is really damaging to them at the moment. Defensively, I'd like to see them do more work out the front. They know where the ball's going in Bryce, so they need to cut off the feed early. And for my mind, they really need to shut down Forkadia for the Australians.
So I don't think the Aussies have made any changes. Just having a quick look at the back of their bibs.
Yeah, New Zealand have though. Bishop is off and looks like Lalanga is on in goal shooter. And Puroku has gone from goal defense into wing attack. Puroku. We are just trying to find. And great start by the New Zealanders. Look like they've got a held ball. Woodley has switched from goal attack to goal defense.
And Puroku's moved from goal defense to wing attack.
Yep. And goal attack is still the same.
Bishop's moved forward to goal attack, which means that Totomo has gone to the bench. So held ball on the Aussie centre pass to start the second quarter, and then the same on the Kiwi centre pass.
And just trying to make a glance over the Australian side. No changes for the Australians?
No, not that I can see. Strong take from Bryce. 9 from 10 from Stephen Bryce.
Jason Hurd to deliver the centre pass.
Ooh, Forkadia and Pastori just caught the same side there on that first phase.
And again, there with Pastori and Jason Hurd as well, both running the same channel. Nice high release from Hurd into Bryce. And he rewards that feed as well. Must release the ball early, couldn't get it done, unfortunately, Jellicoe.
Yeah, Noonan like a glove.
And it's one of those things where, you know, once they step into the centre circle, they need to know who they're passing to, and they need to release it early. Jellicoe called for the obstruction. Oh, a great roll by Pastori. Yeah, Woodley called for the contact. Bit of a tap on the back. Sorry, mate. Sorry, not sorry. As Pastori shoots his first one for the second quarter. Oh, Forkadia likes that drive where he cuts in late.
His prelims are so early that he's losing Evans.
Yep. Oh, Ormsby.
Yeah, through the hands of Bryce.
Too high, yeah. Nice cut back. Lalanga out of the circle. Open circle here by the New Zealanders.
Noonan drives Puroku closer to the top of the transverse.
And that's when I talked to the New Zealand camp, they were looking at Lalanga not just relying on the hold. They wanted to see him with a bit of movement. But he's such a strong presence. In times when they need to score, I think he does need to just
Post up,
get a settler.
So the Kiwis had to go way back deep into the centre third to reset.
And they're not prepared to deliver that ball. That means that Sproat's doing a really good job to create the doubt in the feeder's mind. But there is a lot of movement from the New Zealand front line here.
Bishop out wide again.
Oh, must swing it. Yeah, good option to swing. Baseline drive.
Oh,
Sproats.
Good read.
So predictable, though. That pass was on. Like, everyone saw that pass coming. Jason Hurd balances.
Good weight from Jason Hurd on the pass, too.
And
Pastori nails that. Margin now out to 11.
And that was a contact call?
Yeah, but before the centre pass on Bishop, so perhaps a screen before the centre pass.
The pace that the Australian 23s are playing at is quite phenomenal at the ball speed.
It's through the hands again of Bryce.
Is Ormsby starting to slightly work his magic down there or creating doubt?
Perhaps, but I also think that It was a little bit of wishful thinking from Pistori on that occasion.
Evans unfortunately can't contain the ball from the baseline throw-in. Forcadia for the sideline throw.
Jellicoe, he'd be racking up a couple penalties now in the Australian attack end.
Nice screen set by Bryce. And time called.
And as if Jason Hurd hasn't done enough running today, he's running after the ball.
I love how the shooters don't run. They're like, yeah, I'm not a runner.
It's undignified.
Yeah.
See me run. So a throw in inside the circle to Australia. Pistori to take the pass.
You can see Forcadia doing the work early just to protect his own space on the circle edge. Pistori driving through, getting that contact call on Woodley. Oh, missed shot.
Yeah, first miss for Pistori. So a caution now to Jellicoe for persistent contact.
Well, it's been a couple in a row, so he just needs to adjust to the umpire now.
As Bryce scores another for Australia. 19-7, 5 gone in the second. 5-1 start to the term for Australia. Forcadilla, that was a strong take. Ormsby behind.
Ormsby coming through and Woodley
in front. Yeah, but
and
touch on the pass from Evans.
Getting wide. Who's coming through the middle?
Through the hands of Jellicoe.
And just loose pass.
Yeah, a little rushed.
I don't mind when they drive down the court, but there's no one cutting back towards the ball for that short option. Everything is all long. And contact call on Forcadia. New Zealand will have the penalty pass.
Yeah, he's not happy he didn't collect that one.
Evans connects with Bishop. And there we go. Looks like Tyson Lalanga will line up his second
shot. He's short, but he rebounds it. Martin didn't give him space to land and didn't contest the rebound. That's the second goal for the Kiwis in the quarter, and we're 6 minutes deep.
And look at that already. It's like they're all doing that inside defense where they're forcing them wide.
Great take. Roku not waiting for the ball to be released.
No, it's Woodley.
Woodley, sorry. Advantage there.
Quick play on.
Yeah, drilled it from Forcadia.
That's Jellicoe with the contact call. Needs to adjust.
Yeah, he does.
Doesn't want to get attention from the umpires. He's already been cautioned.
Yeah, smart ball from Pistori on that occasion. Eyes were down from Ormsby.
I really liked what the Australian defence did just then with that inside D, and it was almost a zone-like defence against the traditional zone D. But we knew that the New Zealand 23s were going to have a hybrid version of the game.
Yep.
And they would switch between the two.
Quick flick of the pass again. Ball's just in the right spot, but Bryce can't make it go through. Puroku now. Woodley.
And they're all wide. There's no one, all 4 players for New Zealand are all down this left flank. Great job by the New Zealand defenders for keeping them, controlling them down one channel. Yeah, calling timeout. Looks like Tatomo's going to come on at centre for Jellicoe.
Yep. Probably a good idea just to give Jellicoe a bit of time to...
Some breathing space. But also, too, when they go towards the bench as well, they can see the game from the sideline. It's a different perspective versus being on court. Held ball. No goal. Oh, I thought that might have been a footwork call. And here's that man-on-man. But see, it's a zone-like defense through the middle. There's not a lot of space. And stepping call.
Footwork before the contest from Noonan. Brilliant applied pressure from the Aussies. It was just continuous.
They worked really hard to build that pressure. Some clarification being sought by the umpire as it looks like a reserve player. That's rude. Come on, lads. Forcadia with the feed. Connects to Pistori. And shoots it
obstruction,
forward.
shoots through it. So 21-8 now to the Aussies. Oh, good read from Hurd.
Got a touch to it. And they're both getting caught
Yeah, I think his lead was a little,
early.
too early, and he got stuck, but manages to come up with it. It's his first for the second quarter. 6 from 7 now for Bishop.
Oh, great pickup by Ormsby. Great read. And, you know, that's what he needs to do against someone like Bryce. He needs to go hunting. Oh, Forcadia.
That was a great tip.
Oh, can he keep it in?
Oh,
Yes,
he does.
can.
Good footwork from Martin.
Oh, Ormsby.
That was a tough pass into the circle. Bryce mopped up.
Needs to cut back. There's only one lead out there for New Zealand at the moment, and it's really one-dimensional. So if it's not on, there's not a second option. So they need to have that movement, like doing some prelim work early, and they're not. That's better.
Sproats just stays where he is.
And Bishop converts. Here's that wide channel. Yeah, the penalty count towards New Zealand defensive end is quite high. They really need to fix that in the halftime break. Oh, unlucky. Umpire allowing that contest to happen.
Yeah, Woodley just in everything at the moment.
Baseline drive. Oh, Forcadia comes around. Nice contest, though, from Woodley on that occasion.
So under 5 to go in the second term here on day 2 of the 2018 Trans-Tasman Cup. Coming to you live from Priceline Stadium in Adelaide. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. DeTomo has to reset back to Evans.
And Tomo wants to get on with it. Oh, finds Lalanga left alone at the post. Martin looking to cover Bishop.
So the lead.
Oh, good cover by Woodley.
Oh, flick pass. Oh, I wondered if actually Bryce was putting up the screen for Pistori then. So the margin at 13. The Aussies have built on that 8-goal lead they had at quarter time. New Zealand unable to make any inroads. Oh, good read from Sproats.
Just wanted to see him back himself.
Martin on that occasion.
Oh, contact call on
Sorry,
Pedoku.
Noonan. Yeah, just had the inside footwork around the outside of the circle.
You know, and when I watch the Australian attacking, they've got multiple options on each of the channels in comparison to the New Zealand side at present. I mean, it's easily fixed. The guys just need to stay focused and not let the scoreline sort of impact their ability to play. They just need to continue to play netball.
So the Aussies looking to extend, make it 15.
Oh, great work, Ormsby.
Bryce out of the circle on that occasion, trying to mix things up.
Now, Ormsby is working extremely hard. As goalkeeper at the back there, he's the last line of defence, and he's doing his damnedest to keep New Zealand in touch. Cutting back, Forcadia in the pocket.
Yeah, the ball put him under a bit of pressure. Pistori.
And another screen by Bryce.
Just didn't come off on that occasion.
Evans is on. Oh, keep running down the line.
Tomo's stuck. There is no one in the centre third for New Zealand. And the defenders were stationary on that occasion.
And Woodley called for the contact.
Yeah, better ball into Pistori, better take. And the Aussies have extended the margin to 15. A couple of changes now for New Zealand with Bishop coming off, it looks like.
Looks like Woodley stays on at goal defence.
Yeah, so Tan's coming back on at wing defence and Evans has moved to goal attack. I have seen Evan shoot with New South Wales, so it's not a position he's unfamiliar with.
So Evans has gone from wing defence. Tan is back in the wing defence.
So 2 minutes to go in the second term. And the Aussies comfortably so far by 15.
Oh,
Noonan
nice recovery
yeah,
from
had to make sure he
Noonan.
didn't go offside there. Wasn't the best pass from Sproats.
Oh, all on the same side. Ormsby had a look.
Oh, Pastori, he's wheeling and dealing around.
Yeah, and and Woodley's got maybe the first lead covered, but it's that second and third and fourth repeated effort that's really doing some damage for Australia.
Yeah, just opened the Aussie circle up there.
Tan called for the contact on Fokatia. Hurd will take the pass. Pastori, nice.
Pastori looked out, passed in. Bryce, goal to Australia.
This is some really pretty netball from the Australians.
Margin now 17. I can't say that all these changes that New Zealand have made have done a whole heap of difference. Maybe they just need a little bit more time to settle into the game.
I think so. I mean, when the scoreline comes out to this margin, it's about getting the little goals right. So making sure you nail down your set of passes, attempting first ball contests, and just working hard on the structures and the processes that your coach has set out for you. I think at the moment they're probably a little bit frantic, not too sure what to do. And coach will have some kind words at the halftime.
Pastori, that was a phenomenal effort on the transverse line. The Aussies are contesting everything. What a drive.
Hurd. Great ball from Jason Hurd. Pastori.
Just setting the penalty. First one up was Pastori on the rebound, but couldn't make it stick.
Couldn't convert. And if you notice, this is where Australia, they instantly go straight on the body and they're forcing the New Zealanders wide. And the New Zealanders need to get into front position and not stay in that back space.
Through the hands of Tan on the throw-in for the Aussies, the Kiwis. The Aussies now have the chance.
Oh, Ormsby had a crack.
Score from Bryce. And that is the last score that we will see for the term. So another solid quarter from Australia. They take a handsome lead into half-time in the 23 and under division, 29-11. So half-time in the 23 and under division, that's a handsome lead, 18 goals. Both coaches, the Kiwis actually left the courts. They've gone behind the courts for a bit of a debrief. I do wonder if that's a matter of process for them or whether they want to have a bit of a chat about how that first half went for them.
I think it's a bit of both. I think Dan will want to take the players away from the potential to look around given the scoreline, just to try and refocus their energies on what he wants them to deliver. The scoreline might have blown out at the moment, but there are still things that their team can work on that they can absolutely correct. Things like ball skills, ball delivery, pass, catch, turn, release. Sounds very simple, but against that tight defensive one-on-one marking by the Australians, it's very hard to execute in a high-pressure situation, which for a lot of these players, apart from one, is their first Test debut.
That's exactly right. And I guess perhaps changing that setup from the standard Australian way out of defence as well. They're being content to be pushed wide. They're not gaining anything from that. They're really struggling. At one stage on a throw-in, they had no one in the centre third at all. They had all started their attack in from too far back, and they were just clogged in that Australian goal third as well. It wasn't pretty, and a couple of structural changes probably need to occur as well.
Yeah, and it's about doing like the prelim work for the attacking end. Like, they're waiting for the centre to step into the circle before they start their prelim work. They need to do that a lot earlier. On the flip side with Australia, we're seeing someone like Forcadia doing a ton of work off the line, which enables him to lose his opponent and get access to the feed to the ball, and then he just throws and then drives again. If he doesn't receive that, he drives and gives repeated efforts, which I'm sure his coach Matt Blomley will be very impressed with.
So just some shooting stats from that second term. Bryce, 10 from 11, so he's sitting at 18 from 20 at 90% for the first half. Pastori, 5 from 7 at 71%. Sitting at 11 from 13 to halftime at 82%. Lalunga 3 from 5 in that second term, and Bishop 2 from 2. So the Aussies sitting over 92% and the Kiwis at 73%. They've really been starved of possession as well. Mind you, we did say before the game that Draven Lee Torua is out injured, and Miguel Afuni hasn't actually arrived for the team just yet. He arrives tomorrow. So there's potentially some changes in terms of personnel that they will have available as well for the next 2 games.
I think that those 2 players in particular are some serious game changers. But until they're available and on court, we really can't call on it. We can only call of what's out here. Ormsby for New Zealand has impressed me. Last line of defence, winning a ton of ball, doing his part for the team. And I feel that it's just through the middle that they're just losing that coordination and that balance, and the timing is off. For Australia, looks like, they're doing a really good job. They've obviously changed it up, their lineup up, with several players coming to the bench. Yeah,
they have. Braden Pastori's moved to goal shooter, Jaden Cowling onto goal attack, Jake Edwards to wing attack, and Forcadia to centre as Cowling shoots his first goal for the game. The back 2 of Noonan and Martin stay the same, and Nathan Selvage has come on at goalkeeper for Australia.
Now, there were a lot of changes you just named there for Australia that I did not get, but I will.
So Lalunga scores the first for the Kiwis of the third term.
Edwards into wing attack.
So a little scrappy to start this third quarter. The Kiwis will be looking to capitalise. Good take from Selvage. He was up early.
And that ball probably wasn't on by Paroku. Forcadia hitting circle edge. Cowling, great take, strong take.
Shoots through that second penalty. So what can New Zealand conjure up? They've left Evans at
goal attack
for this third quarter. I guess they're...
And still static. Both mid-court is static on around the circle edge. That's just begging the Australian defenders to just attack that ball. Lalunga holding his space.
It's a quick release too.
Yep.
Didn't give a chance for either defender to take a jump at the shot. Edwards.
Back to Forcadia.
It was a touch outside on the pass to Edwards.
And look at that. It's almost like a wall to try and get them across the transverse line. Edwards unlucky on that
Yeah,
contest.
had a crack. Tan now.
Connects with
Evans.
Evans. Puroku down the line. Oh, that's better placement. Oh, Lalanga doing a roll right around.
Oh, good touch from
And
Salvage.
Salvage.
Good backup from Noonan. And the Aussies are into attack again. Long outlet from Forcadia to Cowling.
Oh, I don't know if that was a heavy check by Totomo as well. I think his knee's gone. He's got an issue with his knee.
He's a little ginger.
Yep. Oh, great
Cowling
control.
miss. Twinkle toes on the baseline.
And converts.
So the Aussies extend their lead. It's tighter in this third quarter so far. 3.5 minutes gone. 3-2 the quarter break.
And those are the little goals that I was talking about. So from a coaching perspective, you'd look at, making sure that each 5-minute block that they're still in the contest, that trying to see if they can potentially win a quarter or win a period of time.
Or at least identify where it's falling down as well.
Oh, Woodley lost his player. He's well away. Yeah, he's well clear of it.
Yeah, just
And
sagging
baseline
back
drive,
is
yeah.
Woodley.
I think he just got caught out from the centre pass, but Ormsby, great rebound.
It's a little messy. I wouldn't like to be sitting next to Australian coach Matt Blomley right now after the first 4 minutes of this third quarter from the Aussies. Mind you, they've made a couple of changes. Salvage, he contested that with the Lalanga right
To the
to
end.
the ball. Yeah.
You have to sort of...
Pastori with the Gretel tip at layup. It takes good eyesight to be able to recognise you're not going to get a contest in your movement to the goalpost because any defender could just come and block.
Forcadia.
Get the Forcadia out of here.
I love it.
That was a great tip. It wasn't his first for the game either.
No, not at all.
Brilliant 1-2 with Pastori.
He has been a force to be reckoned with this evening, Forcadia.
And the Aussies just toying with the Kiwi defenders on that occasion. Another timeout with Totomo now.
And we
going
saw
to the
that
bench.
earlier, probably about a minute or so ago, with his injury to his knee. Couldn't get the word out.
And Jellicoe back on. I wonder if he's had a chance to clear his head a little.
Caught the eye already. Tan doing a good job trying to contain Edwards. Or Evans. Edwards, sorry. Cowling. That's a caution.
To Woodley.
And he has been in the contest, but he's also come in just a fraction late.
Good contest from Martin. He called for the backup from Pastori. And another ball via the floorboards to Cowling.
Oh, they are
And the
on
lead is
fire.
22.
Everything that they're doing at the moment, Australia is just literally turning to gold right now. With the changes as well, they've seemed to, now that I feel like they've found their rhythm.
Yeah, and sometimes it does. I remember a couple of players saying, that when you make changes, you can sort of account for perhaps
couple of errors.
Yeah,
Yep.
2 turnovers per player. But the Aussies might have made them in the first couple of minutes, but they've certainly made up for it in the time since.
Just trying to see how New Zealand are going to set this play up. I actually need to try and find the ball. There it is.
So it's an 8-3 quarter break to the Aussies so far.
And they were in that contest in the first 5. The Kiwis just haven't scored yet in the next 5. Here they are, though, through Lalanga. They just need to get him more ball. He's, shooting very well.
So it's
Needs-
about finding accommodation that can give that
Get-
ball to him easier.
And also for him to present well as, He's forcing himself to come out of the circle because there's no second phase connection
That's
coming through.
correct, yeah.
Ormsby out of play. And Australia sink another goal.
Yeah, Pistori shoots those for breakfast. Evans now.
Oh,
good
Focadia! Get out of here! We're going to make that trend today. Focadia, take a bow.
Mandy Love just giving a little clap sideline too.
Oh.
Loved it that much. Strong take from Pistori. Ormsby just took
The body,
just
body checked
the
in.
wrong line then, and needs to get a bib back on before we can.
Oh, it's from the front.
Ormsby thought it was someone else's, not his own.
No, it was Ormsby's.
Sweet shot from
sweet
Pistori.
shot. So good. They're shooting so well.
Yeah, he's 15 from 18 now, 83%. Oh, Cowling. That was a hospital pass. That put him under so much pressure.
And Woodley called again for the contact.
That's the third pass via the floorboards. The Kiwis should be looking for that from now on as an option that the Aussies will try and fit into their play.
Well, they've been so used to that high ball with Bryce at the back in the first half, so it's a nice change up from Blomley to have that roving circle. Oh, great hands, Ormsby. Unlucky. Tan getting a touch on the outside. Oh, tricky pass.
He sort of just left it. It wasn't really a bounce pass.
No. He's left it behind.
But it was effective. The Aussies extending the lead now to 26, 41 to 15, 6.5 to go in the third quarter. Held ball from Edwards.
So small win here by the Kiwis. Need to see if they can convert it. They've only shot one goal in the second 5 of this quarter. So, I'd like to see them make good use of it, but then that long ball.
Yeah, I was going to say, perhaps they should just need to look a little bit shorter.
To connect it. Yeah, they really do.
And I guess there's a difference between passing shorter and having an option shorter because they didn't on that occasion. They're making it a little bit difficult for themselves.
Yeah, missed shot 2 there by Pistori. There's a lot of support for the Kiwis online, trying to help cheer them on and, telling the boys to keep their heads up. A lot of fans for Australia, really impressed with the performance they've put out so far. Oh. Paroku.
Yeah,
Cramping. Look, was it hammy?
Woodley,
sorry. Again, no one likes to see players coming off injured. We had a very serious injury last night with Jake Novak from the Australian under-20s, was in hospital last night, seeing 2 back spasms. We've been told that he's been released from the hospital. We don't know if he's going to return for Game 2, but there is a high hope and that he will. So hopefully Woodley is okay once he seeks some treatment.
So Bishop has come back on at goal attack, and Evans has swung to the other end of the court to cover the goal defence position. So the Kiwis are injured. They've got an injured player not available tonight. They're missing a player as well. It can't be easy for them to try and have to navigate those things.
And cover those positions. And
the Lunga shoot it.
Yeah, and Draven Lee Totoa as well. He played down the defensive end for West Coast Thunder in the AMNA Champs in the Open Men's Division. He was phenomenal as a 17-year-old, or just turned 17-year-old. But he's also been playing in the goal attack role with Australian Sonics goal shoot Jerome Gilbard. So he can play both ends as well. So I feel he'll be a real asset to them on Friday night. So looking forward to seeing him return to court.
He's incredibly agile as a defender. A bit like Shamira Sterling.
Yes. Yes.
Great
very
timing
much.
on the shot. Oh, good read from Salvage. The ball across court. Focadia keeps it in. Back up from Noonan. Edwards just looked to settle it, but Jellicoe mops up. No, he doesn't.
Good attempt, though, by Jellicoe.
Good hold from Cowling. It was a strong hold.
And Ormsby wasn't even looking at the pass. He just threw his hand up and got a tip to it. The Australian boys are having fun out there.
Yeah, and I think they've actually been able to navigate, I guess, around what the Kiwis are putting out there a lot better. They've probably had a good talk about what's happening on court, and they've been able to make adjustments to their own game.
And just slight tweaks, especially with the change in shooting as well. Cowling will get a second attempt.
Not a third, though. Tan. Evans.
I wonder if Ormsby runs out
To goal defence.
in goal defence. Like, I know he's doing such a great job out there, but they're missing that drive through the court. I actually wonder if he plays out. Or with just the pure pace and speed.
I guess there's an
Negate.
opportunity to do that. Lalanga shoots true. So the Kiwis 5 from 5 this quarter. They've just not had a lot of ball. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. 43-18 to the Aussies. Lalanga now outside the circle. Puroku.
Yeah, was in front position. And Bishop lines up the shot. Oh, thought
rims
about
out.
it, yeah.
So now a caution on Puroku as well for the contest on the take from Noonan.
They're a bit sassy out there, aren't they? It's getting a bit physical now, and you don't want that in the game. Like, I know the scoreline has blown out.
That's not a skill.
It's not. And they're better players than this. You know, they're the most elite athletes, and they need to show that.
So Aussies with another chance to extend their lead. 15-5's the quarter break. Cowling
layup.
now. Oh!
Yeah, Ormsby, great work in defence.
Doesn't come off. Selvage had a think about having a crack
There's only
at
two
that
on one.
occasion.
Step. Ooh, I thought that was a stepping call. Nice work by Jellicoe through the middle.
Yeah,
Oh,
just not
the
passed into the
pass
right spot.
execution.
Yeah. Oh, lucky for Cam Martin there that ended up in the hands of a teammate.
Oh, unlucky by Ormsby. You know, did the right thing, took his feet around.
Yeah, just use his hand to try and come around as well.
Yep. As Pastori just does another one. Couple of off-body moves starting to appear in this game.
So just over a minute to go. Yeah, was a step from Tan and then didn't want to release the ball.
Yeah, looks
So
like
now another caution coming out for the Kiwis. That's 4 for the team.
it's got to be tough being out on court in your test debut with a scoreline the way it is. What they need to remember, though, is that they are coming up against a very experienced Australian side with a number of players who are currently competing in the Opens division of the AMNA champs. Yes, they do have a few debutants today, but they also have very experienced players who have represented Australia at the New Zealand champs and also 2 players who have competed in the last Trans-Tasman champs. So they just need to take what they can in terms of learnings from this game and come back with a better resolve to be better for game 2.
So the margin pushes past 30 for the first time in the game.
Martin with the cheeky smile to the umpire. I'm pretty sure he
He
tried
knew.
to wink. Lalanga regathers.
Bishop. He's stuck.
And that's where they just, they need to work that shooter-to-shooter connection that we talked about in the first quarter. It's just not there at the moment. And that is time.
So the Aussies with a huge third term, 18-5, and they take a whopping 31-goal lead into the final change. Australia lead New Zealand in the 23 and under division, 47-16. So the Aussies with a commanding lead at three-quarter time. What would your message be to the Kiwis at this time?
It's very simple. Go back to just simple plays done well. Correct your angles. They're starting to be forced wide, so they need to get that 45-degree angle. If they don't receive the ball, they need to clear, and then they need to go again. But also, too, they need to be more than one option towards the ball in the different channels as well. So they're not playing with a lot of width or a lot of depth. So they're just all floating around the same area, not really doing a hell of a lot. We spoke about earlier on in that quarter, both centre court players were just sitting on the circle edge waiting for a pass. That is begging a goalkeeper to come out hunting and just really attack that play. So I would ask for more movement and being more direct. But, it's the simple things. And, they need to have a goal at 47-16. I'd like to see them get to at least 26 for this quarter. So 10 goals. May not sound like a lot, but in terms of how they're sort of scored throughout the game, it's an achievable target and it's something that they can absolutely get to.
6, 5 and 5 the Kiwis have scored. I think for me it's the attempts, it's the possession that the Aussies have enjoyed. It's increased every quarter, 15 and 18 attempts in the first and second quarter, 23 in that third term, and they scored 18 for them. So,
and look, and I've just seen Bryce come back out on court.
Yeah.
This game is not going to get any easier for the Kiwis. If anything, their job just got a whole lot harder right now.
So Cowling 10 from 13 in that third term. Pistori 8 from 10. He leaves the court with 19 from 23. Lalanga 4 straight, but just needed more ball. Just needed to post up and have someone who's going to be willing to do a little bit of work for him out the front.
Yep.
And 16 from 22 for the Kiwis for the game. And the Aussies 47 from 56 attempts so far.
That's amazing. And Bryce starts the collection of goals to the Australian side entering the fourth quarter. And this is where they get stuck. Everyone's high, and that's where they're not getting down the court. They lose the depth as
Jellicoe ends up
on
with the
floor.
scorers.
Just saying a quick hello.
Maybe they've got good snacks. I'm hungry.
I'm going to put a shout out to my mum. She's left a comment here. Time to try some different combinations.
Oh, she's a smart woman.
Of course she is. No, and they have tried. And I feel that once Dravenly Totoa and
Miguel
Afuni return to the fold. For those asking online, Dravenly Totoa sustained an ankle injury in a scratch match a couple of days ago, hence why he is not taking the court this evening. The plan is to have him ready and available for Friday's second test. And Afuni joins us tomorrow. He flies in tomorrow.
So he should be available also for selection, as to Luke Marco Rawlings.
Yes,
because he
was rested, wasn't he?
Jellicoe just wanted a piggyback from Fokadia then. So now a warning for Jellicoe. It's not good when they've got injuries on the bench and they're down a couple of players well.
And he's and he got cautioned down this end as well. So that's a learning curve for these young players. And, we've got to remember, too, that 7 of these players are under the age of 20 for New Zealand. So absolute learning curve for them. Not trying to make excuses, but there is a time and a place that needs to happen. And if anything, hopefully they learn from this experience and bring their disciplined game too. Bryce converts another goal.
So Australian notch up goal number 50. 50-17. Cowling just goes long.
Couldn't contain it. Replay ball.
Replay from Bryce. Let's see how the Aussies apply this pressure in the attack end.
And Edwards just going offside. And even now, their position is all wide. Everyone's wide. So the Australians don't actually have to do anything. They just stay in the middle lane. That's better by Jellicoe. Oh, step.
Mandy Love has brought her whistle tonight. In fact, you've left it back at the hotel. That's probably a good thing. Edwards.
Everyone's got the dream.
Bishop just stuck his hand out, gifted that turnover.
And Tan with the reset. So this is better. You know, it's not as quick, but it's more controlled, which is what I like seeing this, because that's what they've lacked all game. Got a comment here by Paul Farno Clan. Beautiful defence. Ephraim Ormsby. Absolutely.
Yeah,
He's
he's
been
probably
a standout player for New Zealand
the
this
Kiwis'
evening.
best player tonight. Hasn't stopped.
Was that a lift? I couldn't see the
No,
back
that
of that. It
was-
was just
that
pure
was-
elevation.
And they say white men can't jump. Nathan Selvage says, I beg to differ.
You are out of control tonight, Michael.
That's because I'm hungry. Jellicoe, the Kiwis looking for 2 in a row. Puraku.
Oh, nice hold by Lalanga.
Yeah, beautiful hold. And high as well, so had plenty of space to jump
For
back
that
into.
drop back, yep. And he's more than capable of doing that quite consistently if given a chance and given the ball.
Yeah, and if the ball's brought down to him, yeah, absolutely. So,
And Noonan doing a great drive off that centre pass, got right up to that second transverse to connect it down to the pocket. As got to let the ball go. Not me. I didn't do anything.
so 4-3 the quarter break. Kiwis sticking with the Aussies so far. Too much on the pass.
Too much pepper.
And Noonan just flying through the middle of the
contact,
court.
wing attack. Oh, hard luck, Tan. Thought him and Edwards had a nice little contest there.
Cowling wants none of it. 13 from 16 for the Aussie goal attack.
Just all net on that occasion. Who has impressed you for Australia, Michael?
Oh, look, I think there's been a lot of good work. I think Cam Martin's probably been a silent achiever for the Aussies. I think, you know, we've seen a lot of fancy stuff from the Aussies. I think Forcadilla has been just phenomenal through the middle of the court at wing attack and centre. Yeah, so probably Forcadilla and Martin for mine. What about yourself?
Yeah, I think I would tend to agree. Forcadilla, I've really enjoyed his game tonight, both in attack and defence. I'm always a fan of attackers who love to defend. Who else? I mean, you can't get past the volume of Bryce, but that's as a result of the feeds out in front of him. And yeah, Martin. You know what? The whole team, they've done a very.
They have. It has really been
very
a team
good job.
effort. Yeah.
Like, it's hard to pinpoint just that one player for Australia, but if I had to, it would be Forcadilla through the middle.
Bishop now for New Zealand. Evans. Jellicoe. Tan. 4 passes and they haven't made any ground.
And nice
Cowling,
hand to it
yeah,
from
it was
Cowling.
clean around the body. Edwards.
Their running lines from Australia are just so crisp, and they just have a great awareness of space with each other.
Bryce just offline. 8.5 to go in the final term. Margin 34, 53-19 to the Aussies. So an offensive contact on the pass from Evans. Used the ball to try and get rid of Cowling. Umpire wanting none of that.
And look at Ormsby trying to split the shooters. And the rebound by Ormsby. Great job.
He's worked hard all night.
He really has.
Adjusted his play, mixed up the style of defence that he's used on Bryce.
And he's had a combination of the holding player versus the moving circle. So, and against each opponent, he's been equally as effective. So, for me, like, hats to you, Ormsby. Like, you've had a fantastic game. Can't wait to see what you do in game 2. Jellicoe offside and contact again on the outside.
Yeah, good tip from Martin. So Selvage to take the penalty.
Oh, Ormsby!
Oh!
Unlucky. And his bibs come off again. Back one this time.
Oh, it's from Bryce.
Oh, Bryce. And shoots and scores. He's just so efficient, isn't he, down in that back end and that front line, sorry. And Oh, I wish he'd let that ball go. It was on. Bryce doing a lot more movement against Ormsby compared to the first half. I wonder if that's a specific instruction from Matt Blomley.
Probably. Bryce has got a good front hold as well. So as long as he can move his footwork probably a little bit laterally and the ball is in a pocket, I think Bryce is comfortable in taking the ball out the front.
Loose ball collected by Bryce.
And Edwards mustn't have gone offside. That was some somersault work there.
Oh, nice front cut by Fogarty.
Ormsby!
Oh,
Read it for a week.
So good. The library's open. He read that like a book. Ormsby did.
The library must be open 24/7. Good on him. Lalanga, beautiful play from the Kiwis. That's probably their best passage of the game. Jellicoe's off, and Totomo rips off the jacket. So it doesn't look like this was very much planned.
It's got the bib upside down as well.
He's not on correctly, but we're not going to fix it now. 6 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the match.
Clearly the knee must be better.
You hope so.
Nice
Sticky
placement.
fingers from Stephen Bryce. Nine for the quarter break. So the Kiwis, I don't know that they'll get to 26. If they can get a wriggle in the next couple of minutes,
they just need
a chance.
Gotta get some flow on.
To Tomo. Lalanga's holding in such good space. They weren't willing to give it to him, and the Aussies are in attack again.
And it's hard too, because Bishop also cut off the front space that Lalanga was holding. So they've just got to, again, play with that width in that shooting. There's so much space in the shooting circle, and they're just on top of one another. Oh, efforts.
Yeah,
Bryce,
Ormsby
so strong.
Had a good crack at it.
And look, if you get Bryce to miss, that's a win. Outlet pass to Totomo. Connects to Tan. Oh, heavy check. He looked like he was in pain on that take.
Yeah, it was strong footwork to stay semi-upright or keep his feet strong.
Yeah, Lalanga come out of the circle earlier.
Bishop is free, but they don't want to feed him.
Oh, and hands. The umpire let it go, though. Nice contest. Noonan with a bit of body check going on.
Jostling outside the circle and in.
Oh, great work defensively by Selvage.
Aussies again through
And
Noonan,
look
Cowling,
at that,
Edwards.
1, 2, 3 down the court.
Oh,
just
behind Cowling.
It's a miscommunication, wasn't it? Please remember to stay tuned. We're going live at 8:15 for what is to be a cracker of a match with our open men's, New Zealand v Australia.
Yeah.
Test 1 of 3.
Test 1 of 3. Dan Ryan will join us in commentary for that one.
What an honour. That's so cool to have Dan Ryan, someone of his calibre.
Yeah, it's an honour for him to sit next to me. That's what you meant, wasn't it?
Of course.
Yeah.
Exactly what I meant. Exactly what I meant. Oh, Tan!
Jack nearly clothesline
Yeah,
Tan.
that was a bit of a clothesline. Tan strong in the take, though. Oh, great defensive pressure from Martin.
Off Bishop. Unfortunately, Martin. The thing that I've noticed in this game is on the first look, what a ball from Edwards to his New South Wales teammate in Bryce.
Gives him the old thumbs up. Thanks,
Yeah, he
mate.
does.
Thanks for making me look really good. I was off balance.
The thing that I've noticed about the Aussies is on the look down court, they never look laterally on the first occasion. They're always looking to pass forward.
Yep.
And that's probably an easy identifier that the Kiwis can probably try and close up for game 2 and 3.
And great score there.
58-20, just over 3 minutes to go in the first test of the 23 and under division at the 2018 Trans-Tasman Cup. We're coming to you live from Priceline Stadium in Adelaide. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. Martin just a little late on that occasion.
Yeah, the Open Men's Division will round out the basically first round of test matches that we are going to see during the course of this week. So stay tuned. You've got the likes of people like Junior Levi out on court, Jerome Gilbard, Who else do you have, Michael?
Oh, no one. That's it. Plenty of great players. Steve Philpott, Eli Harrison. A lot of players who have been here before. A lot of experience in the Aussie line.
And likewise with Detroit Sterling and Victor Godsmark White, who are veterans of the New Zealand side as well. So it's going to be a really good battle the next game.
And now Tan on a warning as well.
Oh, Ormsby gets the win. They all start wide. I wonder
If that's
if that's a plan.
yeah. Or just a default. That's where they feel comfortable.
Because they've done this all game and it probably really hasn't been as effective as it needed to be. Shoot that. Oh, the crowd likes that call.
Well, half the crowd. It's half a Kiwi. So Bishop makes good.
Oh, first ball contest from Martin.
So 10 from 12 for Bishop for the game. Hand from Noonan.
Oh, 10.
Yeah, off Edwards on the throw-in. So a minute 20 to go in the game. 58-22 to the Aussies. Scoring rate has dropped off a little bit. It's 11-6 this quarter in favour of the home side.
Soon to be 7.
Nice shot from the Lunga. Hasn't missed in half time. He's 8 straight.
And that's the thing, you know, you want to see more volume from the Kiwis, but just this basic skill execution has really let them down, as well as their discipline.
Bishop didn't think it was him as well.
Like, you heard. You heard.
Oh.
Rolling the circle. Oh, was that all ball? All right, want to see if they can get a last-ditch effort to get a goal. Totomo on the right flank. Ormsby trying to come down to help out, but they're stuck in the goal third.
A little help now from Bishop.
Need to
And
release
Puroku,
it.
quick release,
Oh,
too much on it for Lalanga. Right idea, not the best execution.
Oh, Puroku offside, playing with the advantage. No score.
Yeah, the shot doesn't count from Cowling. I don't think he'd want it to either with an air ball. But the Aussies, far too strong in their opening clash against New Zealand in the 23 and under division, 58-23. So the Aussies, with a 35-goal victory over the Kiwis in Test 1 of the 23 and under division, will now cross to courtside with Mandy Love.
Cam, fantastic result for the first test. How did you feel out there?
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good for us to settle early and really play some good netball as a team.
Yeah, you had some early ascension and dominance throughout that first quarter. What was it that you were particularly working on? What was the feedback from your coaches during the breaks?
It was just continue to do the hard work and not drop off. We know we've got plenty of people on the bench that can come on, so it was just about working ourselves as much as we can.
Yeah, you're very humble, Cam. That scoreline was quite significant. So what is your plan of attack for Test 2?
Much the same sort of stuff, really. We're just going to keep trying to play our style of netball as much as we can.
Yeah, well, fantastic work once again. Thank you very much for joining us straight after the game. I know that you're quite tired and deservedly so. So we'll wrap up and see you on Friday. Good luck.
Thank you.
Back to you,
Thanks, Mandy. So coming up at about 8:15 will be the men's open division up against New Zealand. Dan Ryan, our special guest, joining us in the commentary box for that one. So we'll see you at 8:15 for the men's open division, Australia and New Zealand. You're watching the 2018 Trans-Tasman Cup live from Adelaide.